Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome back to the middle of the order. And for our final TOP, we have done it 29 down, one more left, and that is right now your Atlanta Braves, the team we're talking about here to round up these TOPs. And last year had a very successful regular season. And then the playoffs hit, and then the Phillies came. They were 104 and 58 last year. They were first in runs for, 15th in ERA, and 14th in runs against. They were first in the NL East, first in the NL, and first in MLB. The best team in the regular season last year were these Braves. They, of course, made the MLB playoffs as the 1 seed in the NL, and they had to face their Phillies in the NLDS for the second straight year. And for the second straight year, the Phillies knocked them out in 4 games to advance to the NLCS and sent the Braves heading home early. They will have the 24th pick in this year's draft and are definitely looking to get some revenge on the Phillies here in 2024. They made a lot of trades in the offseason, and the players they're adding to the team include Ronaldo Lopez, David Fletcher, Jared Kelenic, Aaron Bummer, Luis Guillermo, Adam Duvall recently just signed, as well as Chris Sale. What can they do with him? What can they do with Jared Kelenic? 2 guys there that are very interesting and intriguing. But of course, all these trades did not come at an easy price because they're losing a lot of players here as well. Kirby Yates gone. Mike Soroka, what can he find with the White Sox? He's gone. Nicky Lopez gone. Kyle Wright, what is he going to get with the Royals? He's gone. Kevin Pillar out. Jesse Chavez out. Brad Hand. Eddie Rosario, 2021 playoff hero. Eddie Rosario gone. And of course, the young kid, Vaughn Grissom. They had to send it to Boston to get Chris Sale. Let's take a look at that Braves rotation because it is really great. Leading things off, the number 1, Spencer Strider, the star. Strider died. Definitely the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in baseball in my mind. Possibly Cy Young favorite for me. Who knows? And the 2, it's Max Fried. The 3, Old Man Charlie, Uncle Charlie Morton, going to be 41. And the 4, then it's Chris Sale, who, what can you get out of him? If he can stay healthy, he can be really great. And they're rounding off that rotation right now, Ronaldo Lopez. The bullpen's got some nice pieces. Rafael Iglesias, AJ Minter, Joe Jimenez, Pierce Johnson, Tyler Matzik, Aaron Bummer, plus some others. So, the Braves, they have a great team, great pitching, but of course, a lot of their talent comes from their lineup because it is certainly something special. Leading things off, the right fielder, the MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr. Following him, batting second, playing second, his friend Ozzie Albies. Third baseman, batting third, it's Austin Riley. Love this guy. Matt Olson, what a year it was from Matt Olson last year. He's the first baseman, batting fourth. Then you have Marcell Ozuna from the Braves. The DH bats fifth. Michael Harris II in center field bats sixth. Then you got the catcher, Sean Murphy, his second year as a Brave. He'll bat seventh. Jared Kelenic, left fielder, batting eighth. And then Orlando Arcia, the shortstop, bats ninth for the lineup. The bench is as followed right now. Travis d'Arnaud, backup catcher, essentially. David Fletcher, a non-roster invitee guy right now, projected to make the team. Luis Guillermo, and then Adam Duvall recently signed back with the Braves. So that is how your Braves look like heading into 2024. They have a couple of injuries to note, one of them being, of course, Ian Anderson. What are you going to get out of him? When is he going to be healthy? Started out in AAA probably, work his way back up. I still feel like he has a lot left to offer still. Tyler Matzik right now, he had Tommy John surgery at the end of 2022. He's expected to be ready for the 26-man roster and is, questionable for opening day, as well as Oscar Yanoa, who had Tommy John surgery at a similar time period, but he is projected right now to start in the minors and potentially work his way back up. So those are 2 guys to also watch and keep an year out for, as well as Penn Murphy, who had an elbow surgery last year, about middle of the year, I think in June. He's expected to miss at least 12 months and is projected to start the year on the IL. Taking a look at the free agents next year, they've got some guys here. Of course, it's Uncle Charlie who, starts things off for them. Adam Duvall, 1-year deal, so he's going to be a free agent at the end of it. AJ Minter, a free agent after this year, as well as, of course, Max Fried, definitely the guy to circle and watch. And the questions will loom. Will Fried be paid the big bucks to be kept by Atlanta, or are they going to let him walk and find a home somewhere else? They also have 4 club options on some guys, including Marcel Ozuna, Travis d'Arnaud, Aaron Bummer, and Tyler Matzik. So we'll see if the Braves choose to keep these 4 guys around as well at the end of this year. So let's dive in and start talking about these Braves and where else to start. But of course, the MVP Ronald Acuna Jr. Since 2018, Rookie of the Year winner, I said, hey, if this guy plays a full season almost, he can be an MVP for sure. And last year we saw it, his 4th All-Star, his 3rd Silver Slugger, an MVP winner, played 159 games, led the league in a bunch of categories including runs, hits, stolen bases, OPS, etc. He had 217 hits, 149 runs, 41 home runs, and 73 stolen bases. He created his own category, the first ever 40-70 season. He had a .337 batting average, a .416 on base percentage, .596 slugging, and a 1.012 OPS. He was fantastic last year, and he's looking to build on that again this year. He's going to be 26 already. Man, time is flying for some of these young kids. He's great, man. Watching this guy is a privilege. It's an honor. He's one of the best players in baseball right now. And a healthy Acuna is a great thing for Atlanta fans. So pray for another one of those seasons. Of course, his friend Ozzie Albies bats second, the 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. Nice season from Ozzie as well last year, of course, as usual. The switch-hitting second baseman, one of the best in the game right now, 148 games for him, 167 hits, a .280 batting average, 849 OPS. 33 home runs, the most in his career. He's had over 20 home runs 4 different years in his career. He doesn't strike me as that home run hitter, but he's gotten up there in his 7-year career. He has 131 home runs. Of course, he had 6 in COVID, and then 2022 missed a lot of time due to injury and only hit 8. So that number definitely could have been higher, but still one of the best second basemen in the game right now. One of the best third basemen in the game right now, Austin Riley, one of my favorite Braves. I love this guy, man. He hits for power. He's got a good defensive thing. He's great, man. 2-time Silver Slugger, 2-time All-Star. Last year was an All-Star and a Silver Slugger. Played in 159 games, 179 hits, a .281 batting average, an .861 OPS, and 37 home runs to his name. Since 2021, the last 3 years, he's finished in MVP voting either 6th or 7th. So he's up there, one of the best in third baseman. I would say he's a top 3 third baseman for sure. And you could definitely debate maybe even the best third baseman in the game right now, or at least, entering this year right now. There's so many great third basemen that it's always changing for me. But definitely top 3. I love Austin Riley. He's got, all the talent in the world. He's got a big contract to boot, so good for him as well. Moving along, Matt Olson. What a year for him. His second year with Atlanta. He's been fantastic. He hasn't missed a game since putting on a Braves uniform. He's played 162 games in 2022 and 162 games in 2023. He led the league with 54 home runs, 139 RBIs, a .283 batting average, a .993 OPS, finished 4th in MVP voting, just behind, of course, his teammate Acuna, and then the 2 Dodgers, Freeman and Betts. These 4 were going hand in hand with amazing seasons last year. Of course, the Braves and Dodgers, great teams, and they have great players. Acuna and Olson and Freeman and Betts were really filing it out for that MVP. Olsen, of course, finishing fourth with a Silver Slugger to boot. His first Silver Slugger. Did I read that right? Yeah, it's his first Silver Slugger last year. That's crazy because even with Oakland, he was a great power hitter and a great guy to have on your team. But his best season definitely was last year in his age 29 season. So, of course, he wants to build on that. The Braves, of course, have plenty of stars. We just talked about four of them, but they have a couple of interesting projects this year that can turn them from great into the best. And it all depends on how these two players play. The first one being Jared Kelenic. Top prospect with the Mets, gets traded to Seattle and doesn't really find it. 2022 definitely a really poor year. Last year wasn't bad. 105 games, 94 hits, a 253 batting average, a 746 OPS, 11 home runs. But from all the projections that he's been having on him, since he got drafted, definitely not the levels that the Mariners have expected it. They are tired of waiting. They have moved on for him. And Atlanta gets the chance to really break him out. And I think he has that potential still. I think Kalanick can be one of the best in the game, or be a lot better than he is currently. And I think being on this Braves team is going to help him out a lot. I think he's going to really get his footing here, or at least that's the hope, is that Kalanick's able to figure things out and have a great year here for Atlanta. And of course, the other one being the 36-year-old veteran pitcher, Chris Sale. We have seen this guy in the best of the best. He's been amazing. Of course, his earlier days with the White Sox and his early spent time with the Red Sox were incredible. From 2012 to 2018, those 6-year period, we had the best version of Chris Sale. And really, since COVID, we haven't gotten that. He's either been hurt for long periods of time, or he just hasn't been himself. Last year with Boston, a 6-5 record, a 4.3 ERA in 20 games, pitched 102 innings and struck out 125 batters. He could still be a strong pitcher. And I think, being on this Braves team where there's so much talent, him listed as the fourth guy, I think that helps him because I don't think there's as much pressure. In Boston, the pressure was for him to still be the ace and to be the best pitcher. Here with Atlanta, he's not. Strider is better, Fried is better, and I think that's going to help him out because now he just has to worry on himself, staying healthy, staying out there, and doing the best he can every fifth start. I think if Jared Kelenic figures out his MLB struggles, and if Chris Sale can be healthy and kind of get back to form a little bit, we could be talking about, really great Braves team because they're taking some chances on these two guys for sure. Of course, Chris Sale, 2012-2018, we talked about that was the strongest years and everything. He finished second in Cy Young. He finished third in Cy Young. Finished twice fourth in Cy Young. Twice fifth in Cy Young. 1 in 6, but he's never won a Cy Young. And is it too late for him? I'm not sure. We've seen some old guys like Verlander win some Cy Youngs recently, so maybe a Chris Sale Cy Young is still in the cards, and maybe it's this year. Who knows? One guy I will say that I am starting to lean towards the potential Cy Young favorite as I, continue to get ready for the season. Spencer Strider. I love this guy, man. Last year, his first All-Star. In 2022, finished second in Rookie of the Year voting. This year, finished fourth. And he was just great. 32 starts made, a 20-5 record, a 3.86 ERA, 186 innings pitched, 281 strikeouts. I think this guy can be a 300 strikeout guy in a year. I think he's got all the stuff in the world. He was on, he Ks you, man. And that's the kind of pitching I love to watch. Strider was an absolute delight. I actually got to watch him in person last year. And, he's just a great pitcher. Love the guy. I think he's in for another great year. Of course, the Braves have a great team, so that 20-5 record looks a lot better than, if he was on a different team perhaps. But still, he's up there and a potential favorite for a Cy Young winner, and also a great mustache. Just an absolute great one. And then one other pitcher to talk about here quickly, Max Fried. Contract year for him. fun fact, he is probably one of the last pitchers to win a Silver Slugger award because he won that in 2021 before the rule change. He's a three-time Gold Glove winner too. He plays great defense. His All-Star was in 2022. Last year dealt with some injuries, but when he was healthy, he was still great. 14 starts made, a 2.55 ERA, an 8-1 record. He had a complete game shutout, 77 innings, 80 strikeouts. All I'm hoping for is a healthy Max Fried. I think if you get that, you're locked in. He finds ways to win games. In his 7-year career since joining Atlanta in 2017, he's 62 wins and 26 losses. And I mean, you look at COVID year, he was 7-0 during that year. Like he's been a guy for them the last couple of years. And we always talked about that trio of guys who came up together: Jack Flaherty, Max Fried, and Lucas Giolito. I'm pretty sure it's those three. And for me, it was always like, well, I think Jack Flaherty's better here, and I think Lucas Giolito's better here. Max Fried for me has always been the middle of the two of them in certain stats. And, with Giolito kind of falling off, Flaherty kind of falling off, I think it's safe to say that Max Fried's the best of those three. Max Fried's been very good, the last 3-4 years, kind of underrated really since COVID. He keeps getting better and better, and I think he still has a long career. He's only gonna be 30. I think he's in for another great season here with the Braves. I mean, look, as a whole, Atlanta is going to be good. That's why they're here. This is why they're the 30th team we're doing, the last team. It's because I think they're going to have another, be the best team in the regular season again. I still have them over the Dodgers. I just have, there's playoff success here. There's guys who have done it. They want it. They want to win really badly. All of that combined, it spells a formula for victory. And I mean, they get through the Phillies in the regular season with ease. But when it comes to the playoffs, they don't have it. And I mean, Snicker can say it's about all the extra days off and everything. Listen, if you're the 1 seed, if you're the 2 seed, you can't be getting, blown by. That's just kind of how I'm at with this, because the Braves and Dodgers both won 100+ games and didn't make the championship series. You can look at Baltimore too. Baltimore was a 100-win team. The 3 100-win teams all didn't make the playoffs or didn't make the championship series. That championship series in the NL side was the 6-seeded Diamondbacks and the 4-seeded Phillies. Houston of course always makes it, but still, the Braves need to get past the NLDS. They either have to hope that they don't play Philly or just figure out a way to win those games. That's the most important thing for Atlanta here. Their team is going to be great, and how great, it depends on guys like Kalanick and Sale. If you're going to get another all-star you out of Orlando Arcia, what can Michael Harris and Ozuna do? The team is going to be good, where they're going to see some deadline moves, probably the bullpen to get a little bit fixed up maybe. The team, it's just great, man. I can't say enough great things about these Braves. I keep using adjectives and saying great, and this team, it's going to be another strong year for Braves. And you just have to hope that you can make it further in the playoffs than you have the last 2 years. You were World Series winner in 2021, and since then you haven't made the championship series. So they're going to be in the mix. They're going to be a playoff team. But yeah, just getting through playoffs. That's kind of the Braves and Dodgers' goal right now, is to be kind of there and back and forth. We're talking about teams. Yes, the Phillies are great, and yes, there's some other great teams in the NL. But I mean, for the Braves and Dodgers, they're expecting to see each other in the NLCS. They're expected to be the 1 and 2 in the NL, and they're supposed to win in the division series, and it's supposed to be a Braves-Dodgers championship series. That's what you should be expecting if, baseball was this very easy thing to predict and everything on paper was accurate, which is not. It's not the case, and that's why we haven't gotten that Braves-Dodgers NLCS for a couple years now. But maybe this is the year with all of the talent and signings that were made between both teams. But if I'm Atlanta, I definitely want a World Series ring this year, or at least a World Series appearance, or at least further in the playoffs than the NLDS. Let's be honest. They have the second highest over-under here. The Dodgers had the most at 103.5. The Braves at 101.5. Yes, still a very high number, but I think their pitching is great. I think their offense is great. The defense is strong. As long as there's not a lot of players getting hurt at the same time, the Braves are going to win 100-plus games easily. Give me the over on Atlanta without a doubt in my mind. Taking the Braves for 101-plus games for sure. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up today's episode and the TOPs. 30 down, none to go. We've done it. I get to enjoy 2 more weeks of no baseball. Well, no MLB baseball. Not even 2 weeks of MLB baseball because we've got the Soul Series in less than a week. So, I mean, we're here. The offseason's done. And guess what? Blake Snell and Montgomery aren't signed, and neither is JD Martinez. And it's such a weird offseason. But thank you, everybody, so much for joining me in the TOP journey here. Whether this is the first one you're listening to or whether you've listened to all 30. I appreciate you all. And, get excited for baseball. We'll be talking about some stuff going forward. Next episode, Monday. Just the weekend. You got to wait before you get to hear me again. I appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Monday.